In the name of God, the most compassionate, the merciful. Hello everybody. I'm Dr. Tahir Ali Zamir, the Assistant Professor of Anatomical Sciences from Hamadan University of Medical Sciences. In this presentation, I want to speak about the anatomy of digestive system. The digestive system is composed of two parts. One of them is digestive tract and the other is digestive glands. I want to start from digestive tract. The digestive tract is made up oral cavity, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, and large intestine. Let's start from oral cavity. The oral cavity is made from two parts. One of them is vestibule here and the other is proper mouth. What is vestibule? The vestibule is the space between the lips, upper and lower lips, from anterior to the teeth from posterior here, as a potential space, which it is collapsed, but whenever, for example, the food existing here, so it can be stretched and be more, but the space between the lips and teeth becomes vestibule. At the end of the last teeth, in two sides, there are a relation between the vestibule to the proper mouth. But in the proper mouth we have some structures like tongue, like teeth, like palate, a hard palate, soft palate, and etc. So let's start from the teeth. The teeth, the number of the teeth in an adult person or in child person are different. In an adult person, the number of teeth are 32, but in a child person, because there isn't any molar teeth, so these teeth number decrease from the 32 and it becomes just 20. Let's see and now about the teeth here. The first one is incisor. The most anterior teeth in the upper and lower jaw are incisor. The next one is canine. Here in upper jaw and it is in lower jaw. The incisor number, teeth number in also both upper and lower jaw are 2. So in each side, in a jaw, in half jaw, in half jaw, in each side we have 2 incisor teeth here. And also the premolar are 2 in each half jaw, in upper and lower jaw. And in the child person, just in a half jaw, there are these 3 kinds of the teeth, and it finished. So because there are 5, 2 plus 1 plus 2 becomes 5, and 5 5 in half one jaw, and when we want to calculate the whole number of the teeth in 2 jaw, it multiples to 4, and 5 multiple 4 become 20 in a child. But in an adult person, there are another kind of the teeth in each half jaw also in upper and lower portion, which they are molars. In each half jaw we have in an adult and normal person 3 molar teeth. So the differences between the milky teeth to an adult person teeth is 12, because 3 plus 3 multiple 4, because we have 4 hemi jaw overall. It becomes 12. So 20 plus 12 becomes 32, and the number of the teeth in an adult person becomes 32. But in a milky teeth we can't see any molar in contrast. So it is for a child, just their incisors, canines, and premolars, and we can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and also in another side there are 10 teeth also, and it becomes 20. But in an adult person there are some additional teeth, which their names are molar, and we have 32 number. Okay, after the teeth we can see the tongue. The tongue is a structure which is muscular organ. It is a muscular organ, and there are some taste body in the superior aspect or in the surface of the tongue. In the tongue we have two kinds muscles. One of them is extrinsic muscles, and the other is intrinsic. The extrinsic muscles are the muscles which one end, for example origin or insertion, is in another part, and the other is located in tongue. But the intrinsic muscles are the muscles which their both origin and insertion are located in the tongue. The muscles which are extrinsic muscles of tongue are genioglossus, hyoglossus, and styloglossus, as you see in the picture. And of course palatoglossus. And here you can see in the inferior aspect of the tongue we have some fimbria, some ducts for the glands near the tongue, like sublingual and submandibular glands, which are visible here. Let's go to the salivary glands. As I told you, besides the digestive tract, we have some digestive glands. It's true that the digestive glands are another portion of the digestive system, but because they are located in some portions of digestive tracts, so I discussed them here, but not all of them, because there are some another glands like liver and pancreas, which I explain about them later. The sublingual and submandibular glands are the glands which they are located beneath the tongue. The size of the submandibular is larger than the sublingual, and because they are exocrine glands, so they must have a duct for secretion of their contents. By this fact, there are some foramen below the inferior aspect of the tongue for secreting these two glands. And there is another salivary gland which its name is a parotid gland, and in contrast or unlike the two sublingual and submandibular glands, its location is out of the mouth, and it's near to the ear, and it's anterior to the ear here, as you see, near here, ear. It is the parotid gland, and it has also a duct for secretion near to second molar teeth in upper jaw, and it has the most volume of the saliva in comparison to sublingual and submandibular glands. You can see the location of the ducts and their papilla for secretion of these glands, and you can see the position of the submandibular glands, because it has two parts. One of them is a deep portion, and the other is surface or superficial portion. And it is the location and position or situation of the parotid glands. The next part after the mouth or oral cavity is pharynx. The pharynx is classified in three portions. One of them is nasopharynx, because the pharynx is started from the below of the skull. It is from the C1 to C6. By this fact, it contains some portions in the posterior aspect of the nose, in the posterior aspect of the, or in the posterior portion of the mouth, and in the posterior portion of the larynx. By this fact, now we can divide the pharynx in three portions: nasopharynx, posterior to the nasal cavity; oropharynx, posterior to the oral cavity; and laryngopharynx, posterior to the larynx. The part of the pharynx which has the most wide is the nasopharynx, and the narrower one, the most narrowest is or the narrowest one is for the laryngopharynx, as you see here. It is the location of the uvula. I want to discuss and explain about this. In the nasopharynx, we can see some tonsil. It is the pharyngeal tonsil because it is located in the pharynx. It's true that it is in the posterior portion of the nasal cavity, but because it is in the nasal, in the pharynx, so it becomes a pharyngeal tonsil here. Beside this one, we have some foramen for station tube and some folds, as you hear and see. And after that, in the oral portion or in the oropharynx, we can see the termination of the soft palate, and in the middle part of the soft palate, we can see the uvula here, which is visible, and it is the end of the soft palate. And in the lateral side of the soft palate, in the oropharynx, we can see the location of the palatine tonsil. Palatine tonsil here is a feature for the oropharynx. And in the laryngopharynx, there isn't any dominant feature that I want to tell you. After the pharynx, we can see the esophagus here. The esophagus is started from C6 to T11, and it has some parts in the cervical region, and some part, I mean the small portion in the abdomen, but the majority of the length of the esophagus is in the thoracic region. The esophagus is a muscular tube which they collapse to each other, and after eating and existing food in this tube, it becomes large and contract for digesting the food. So unlike the trachea, it isn't open always, just whenever the food and anything is swallowed.